Welcome back to Alexa4Musicians. Today we're going to be talking about how to clean up a code base when it might get messy. The problem that has happened is we had an engineer who we hired them as a freelancer, and they started to deploy code directly into our dev branch without getting approval via pull requests. So they merged a lot of pull requests without actually getting our approval. On the bright side, none of our production code was messed with, so a lot of the production code is still the same. Only approved things were deployed. However, the downside is our dev branch is very messy and it can't be trusted anymore in terms of our continuous integration pipeline. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean up the dev branch to get our continuous integration pipeline back in order so we can start our normal process for deploys. We've got 5 steps to achieve that goal of getting our dev branch into working order. We're going to start off by creating a new dev branch, and I'm just going to call it new dev. Then we're going to run the code that is in our existing dev branch, the messy branch that we want to clean up. We're going to run it and make sure that it has the functionality that we want. Then we're going to push our code up to GitHub, and we're going to open up a pull request. We're going to skip merging it with dev and try to create a pull request with our staging environment. That way we can see the differences between our dev environment and our staging environment. Once we can see all the files that are changed, we'll go back into our code base and we're going to remove all of the changes that were unintentional. So anything that was merged without approval that is not part of our intentional change to update the contact page, we're going to remove. And then after we do that, we will merge our pull request and then deploy it to production and look at how it looks on Alexa4Musicians on the live website. So let's check out, this is the production site. If you go to Alexa4Musicians.com, this is what you see. 2 things that I don't like about this current layout. 1, we've got lorem ipsum text, which is not good to have in a production website. 2, when you fill this out, it doesn't actually send the message, which means that if a musician is trying to contact us right now, we have no way to know that anything's actually happening. No emails are getting sent. So the 2 things that we want for our minimum viable product, update this text at the top to help people know what the contact page does, so that it doesn't look spammy or junky. 2, we actually want the submit button to fire our send email API, so that way we can keep in contact with musicians and have this communication go through end-to-end. Let's get started with step number 1, checking out a new branch. So I have already checked out a branch from from our dev branch, but I'll start back from where we want to be. We'll check out our messy dev branch. Okay, so now we've got our messy dev branch checked out. Just to confirm, I'll get pull origin dev, and when I get pull origin dev, it's going to pull the changes down, and it says, hey, there's some merge conflicts. I don't want to mess with that, so I'm just going to pull it. Now when we run git status, we can see that we are ahead of dev by 3 commits, and then we now have all the changes from dev. I want to check out a new branch now for our first step called we will call it suites /new-dev. This is going to be our new dev branch. We now have a nothing to commit, clean working tree. So let's go ahead and run this and see if it has some of the changes that we want. We'll do that by I want to make sure I have all the packages, so I'm going to run npmi to just make sure that my local version has the up-to-date version of node packages. And once we get these changes, we have now completed step number 1. So only 4 steps left. We're already making a lot of progress. Next thing I want to do is run this, and we'll run it with npm run start as soon as our packages are done installing. Looks like there were some packages I missed, so this was good that I ran our install before trying to run the web server. Okay. We added 7 packages, removed 1, changed 11. Alright, now that we have installed our packages, we'll run npm run start, which is going to start up a local React server, and then we'll automatically... Oh, it looks like we're using a port, probably over here. We're already using a port, so I'm running quite a bit. Shell, new tab, because our tabs like to disappear on us. No. I'm going to try it again now that I've shut down that other web page that was running. Alright, so now it is rendering our development server. Development server also needs to fight with the fact that we're live streaming right now, which slows everything down a little bit. I don't think I need this Ethereum tab open right now. We're focused on React, not on Solidity coding. Alright, it has deployed. I need this mosquito spiral because I'm based out of Thailand and the mosquitoes can get kind of annoying for a digital nomad. This mosquito spiral smells like some good incense, and it also has the added side effect of keeping mosquitoes away. Alright, that should handle the mosquitoes. And now we've got our page up and running. I already see some differences between this and our production website, but we won't go into that. Let's keep on moving. Looks like we got some changes to the landing page. We're not going to worry about those for now. We're just going to move to app/contact to see what we have over there. Contact page does have the updated contact text. Please contact us if you have any questions related to our services, or if you need technical support, our representative will contact you as soon as possible. I want to change this a little bit so that it sounds cleaner English. It does look exactly like what we have in our design side though. The difference between them is very minimal. Looks like in our local host this says my profile up top, but it should say contact. And let's see if the email sends in our local host. So I'll type in this info and I'll just say hello world. Does it actually send an email? We get a success message up top telling us that the message was received. Let's go to our mail and see if the message was actually sent to the end musician. Okay. We did get the email. So it looks like it's working locally. So next thing we want to do, we have now done steps 1. We checked out a new dev branch. Step 2, we made sure our contact page works. It does. Step 3, push and open a PR with staging. So really quick, I'm going to make a change to the text. Oh, do we even have it open? We do. Got too many tabs open. Alright, so this is our contact page. I want to find where the section is that says representative, because I want to change how that wording is. Okay, please contact us if you have any questions related to our services, related to Alexa4Musicians, or if you need technical support. Our representatives will contact you as soon as possible. That seems like a good place to start. We'll save that, and now let's crash. Well, let's make sure that our server looks right. We'll refresh this to get the most up-to-date version of the code. Please contact us if you have any questions related to Alexa4Musician. I need to make this plural, Alexa4Musicians. Save that. Looks like it's not hot loading, which is okay. We've now made it plural. Please contact us if you have any questions related to Alexa4Musicians or if you need technical support. Our representatives will contact you as soon as possible. Okay, I like how it looks now. We'll crash the server. Let's run git status. And now let's git add. We'll add our package lock.json git, and we'll commit this. I update package lock.json. Simple commit message. More commit messages is better in my opinion. Git add src views contact index.js git commit -m. I update contact page message on top of page. And this is reminding me that we do still want to change this. It's saying my profile, but it's not my profile. So let's try making that change real quick. Control F, my profile. I'm not seeing my profile here, which tells me that it's probably in a parent component. So my next question is, where is that parent component that my profile is being generated in? We could try to look through this entire file structure, but that's going to be a lot of looking around. So instead, I'm going to try to find it as efficiently as possible. How can we find it efficiently? We'll do that by trying. I hear my turtle eating one of my plants, and I want to document this so that everyone's aware it's not me eating the plants and cutting it down, but it is the turtle. Turtles are eating the plant and cutting it down. Just wanted to share what the turtles are eating the plant. Documentation. Alright. So, now we're going to check out /app/contact. And once we get there, we'll see it says my profile up top. One word. So now I'm going to search the entire project for my profile. And boom, it looks like it's happening inside of our app.js. Looks like we have a page title, and we're using state local storage.get item page title. What is local storage? Okay. I'm not sure where local storage is coming from. Where is page title coming from? Looks like there's a lot of cases. Okay, so this seems like one of those things that I'm not sure why the engineer added it in. I'm going to look up what is local storage. Local storage React. Looks like it is built into JavaScript. The local storage read-only property of the window interface allows you to access a storage object from the document's origin. The stored data is saved across browser sessions. It's similar to session storage, except that while local storage data has no expiration time, session storage data gets cleared when the page session ends. For the document. Okay. I have no idea why they use local storage. Okay, it looks like we're using it inside of sidebar and top bar. And then we're setting the value here. Where are we actually? Okay, it looks like we're setting it inside of our sidebar and inside of our right panel. I'm going to try something. I'm going to try to set local storage inside of my contact page. Just really quickly. See if that does what I would expect it to do. Okay, it looks like this is where we're setting it. So the sidebar.js should be setting a page title for each of the screens. So let's try alerting it. Let's alert local storage.get item page title. This is very kludgy. I've never seen this code before. Compiling changes. Okay, it's compiled. Let's go back to our Brave browser. We'll refresh this to see if we get an alert. It says null, so it's never being set. So I don't know why the developer used this. Looks like it's null for a long time. Let's see if it ever, instead of an alert, which kind of slows down our loading, let's do a console log. We'll do a console log instead. Now let's try refreshing the page. I might just need to close this page out and open it up in a new tab. I had too many logs, or too many alerts. Okay, inspect, console, looks like we have a whole lot of nulls and nothing else, just null values. So this method that the freelance engineer chose to use was not valid. So now we need to either figure out a better way to set page title, or we just don't use it. Looks like they're trying to use it inside of page title. Let's have this alert item.title to see if that helps us out at all. See if we're even ever getting, if that part of the code's ever getting hit. Okay, this is probably why it's never getting hit, is because we're never actually hitting the sidebar.js. So, next question is, where's sidebar coming from? It's in dashboard layout. I feel like top bar is probably what we want, but I could be wrong. I have a feeling sidebar is, oh, did I? I have a feeling sidebar is only ever loaded if we have it in like a mobile screen. Let's try it on a mobile screen and see if we get sidebar now. Still not running that part of our sidebar code, so I'm even more confused. But we want to keep moving. So for now I'm going to ignore this part. This seems like something I'm going to have to make an entire video about. So for now, we're going to ignore what I was trying to do. We're going to check get status again. We changed something in app.js, and I probably don't want that change. So we'll undo the change. Let's see if I got rid of it. I did get rid of it. So now we're just going to push origin suites /new-dev. Okay, that branch is now pushed. So I am going to go back to GitHub and we can see, hey, why don't you open up a pull request? Great idea. Don't mind if I do. We'll open up a pull request with our staging branch, or it might be called test. It is called test. Alright, let's see how many deltas we have between our new dev branch and our test environment. We have 30 whole files that were changed, and you can see, even though there were 30 files changed, there weren't a lot of commit messages. I've already made 3 commits, and in total there were 7, 8, 9, 10. There were 11 changes total, and 5 of those were mine, so almost half of those were mine. So the freelance engineer was not making a lot of commits, which is an issue as well. In working with voice first AI, you want to make as many commits as possible. That way your commits can kind of show what work was being done. Let's see all the pages that were changed. Okay, package.json's fine. And package lock.json is fine. Global styles. Wow, this might be a lot. It might be hard to clean this up. It is going to be hard to clean this up. I don't think I care about any changes to the CSS for now. So I think I'm just going to check CSS because any of those changes are probably going to be fine. I will review them. Let's review them. So the page content, we've got a height. We changed it to 85 of viewer height. I'm not sure why we changed it, but we did. We changed a CSS from being commented out to being implemented. This is all for music page CSS, and I don't know that I care about music page CSS right now. It's not what I am trying to work on. So, how would I put this back into the state that staging has it at? I think what I would do is I would take these changes and I would put them, I think for all of our global modules.css, we will want to make these changes very intentional. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to take these changes and implement them back into the codebase and see what happens. So first thing we'll do is we'll open up this global module.css file. src assets global styles, src assets global styles, global module.css. So the first change that we see is in our .page content class. Page content, and here we can see it's 85 viewer height, but originally we have it as 100 viewer height. So let's change this back to 100 viewer height, and now let's do a quick check-in. Git status, git add, src assets, global styles, git commit -m, I roll back height CSS, 85 viewer height to 100 viewer height. Git push origin suites new dev. When we push that, let's see how our pull request looks now. So right now we see that there is a difference on line 759. Let's see if that difference is still there. Hopefully it's gone away. Okay, we no longer have that difference at line 759, so we have successfully rolled back that part of our test branch. Next up, we're not working on the music page right now, we're working on the contact page, so I don't want any changes that are coming from the music page. Let's again take the change that we did have, and now let's find Control F music page CSS. Okay, so inside of the music page CSS, we're going to change the music profile card class. Music profile card, starting with background image, we want to change that to this. Boom. That's change number 2. Let's go ahead and make any other changes that might be inside of the music page CSS. So we'll take this pick track button, So what is the change? Looks like we are changing it from the font size of 14 being important to the font size of 14 without that important. So we'll save that. We'll make our next commit once we get all the music page changes back in order. Next up, we want to change lines 2663. 2663. We have changed 2663. Then we want to change 2667. 2667. And let's see if that's everything. We're now on contact page CSS. It doesn't actually look like there were any changes in there were some changes in contact page. We do want contact page to be changed. So now that we're out of the music page, let's push up our code to see if those changes worked as we expected. Git status, git add src assets, global styles, global module.css, git commit -m, I remove CSS changes to music page. Roll back. Git push origin suites new dev. And once we push those changes up, let's see how our pull request looks. Let's refresh. Do we still have those changes from the music page? That's the question. Looks like all of those that were in the 2600s have now gone back. We are not making any changes to those lines anymore. And now the first change that we're making in our global module.css is inside of our contact page, which is exactly what we want. Now let's review the rest of the changes that we're making in our CSS to see if we actually want those changes. Looks like the next change is inside of, is it a labeled section or is it just a generic change? Okay, looks like a big media query, and this is a change for width. Instead of max width being 75%, we changed it to width being 75%. For the min width of 1,200 pixels, we've changed the width of our column large 9. So let's see what this is and where it's being used, this class. Column large 9 is being used inside of our index.js on our account page. I'm not working on the account page right now, so I don't care. And it looks like it also is impacted on dashboard, music, and plans, but it does not impact contact. I only want to implement changes that impact our contact page, so I'm going to roll this change back as well. So we're going to take this, and then we'll go to line 2957. Or maybe it's now line 2962. 2962. Here it is. Change it back to max width. Let's see what's up next. Column extra small 12. We added this in. This did not exist before. So let's see where we're using this column extra small 12. We're using the column extra small 12 inside of our account page, auth page, sections. Login view. Okay, so there's login view. Our and we are using it in our contact page. Okay, so I think we do want this to stay. Let's see what the changes are. We have it float left for all of our column extra small 12s. We have a width of 100, a position is relative, and a minimum height of 1 pixel. I'm not sure what this one does. We'll leave it in for now, and we'll check what it is inside of our testing. We then have a new media query, and for minimum width of 992 pixels, so for larger screens, we set column medium of 4 to have a width of 1/3, and then we float it to the left. Let's see where this column mid 4 is being used. We're using it in global styles, global modules, account page, auth, dashboard, feature section, how it works section, success story section of my music. None of those are the contact page. So this media query I just want to remove. I just want to totally delete line 2976. 2976, column medium 4. We're going to delete these changes. And that should be everything for this file. It's not a quick process to clean up a code base, but it needs to be done if we want to be intentional of how we're deploying changes. Git add src assets global styles git commit -m. I remove stylings, unintentional stylings which do not affect contact page. We'll push our changes to suites new dev. Okay. Because again, our production page already works. So I'm not worried about removing these changes breaking anything, because these none of those changes are already in production. So I don't want to implement any code that's not intentional. Now we're only making 2 changes in our global module.css, and they both pertain to our column extra small 12. It looks like one of those is inside of a media query for large screens, and then the other one pertains specifically to our contact page CSS. Two of these are the same. We've got position relative, and then we have a medium height of 1 pixel, and a minimum height of 1 pixel, and a width of 100. So honestly, these are both the same, and this might be redundant code. I'm not sure that we need it, but I don't want to spend too much time on this. This looks good to me. We're going to check the box and keep moving on. What's the next one? Image close icon.png. Let's see where what the close icon is. It's inside of our assets, global styles, image, and this is a close icon. You gonna show me, or do I have to open it? Reveal in Finder. It's just an X button. You know what? I don't think I necessarily care if extra PNG files are added, so I'm just going to check these to save time. Image, it looks like some of these are for different pages, but for now I'm not going to care about it. Audio player, we don't care about any audio player changes because right now we're just focused on the contact page. So we're going to change this and revert it back to hopefully totally remove this file from our changed. This file is inside of src components audio player. src components audio player style.css on line 6 to 14. 6 to 14. Audio player class does not exist. I can delete that. And then the seek bar container does exist, but it has changed. So I'm going to roll this back to what it was. Close the curly braces. Now let's push the change. Git status, git add src components audio player style.css, git commit -m. I roll back audio player style.css changes, not part of contact page. I want to make my changes as intentional as possible. So now hopefully we don't have any changes inside of this file. Hopefully totally disappears. Audio player style.css. Okay, audio player style.css. We do still have it there, and we've just removed a space. I'm going to go back in and fix it because right now my goal is to totally keep it as it was. So all that we did is we deleted some tabs. So we'll put this back to 2 tabs. We'll save it. Git status, git add src components audio player, git commit -m. I roll back spacing in audio player styles. Git push origin suites new dev. Now this file should change, and then we should go from 30 files to 29 files. Refresh it. We've now gone down to 29 files, and if I Control F for audio player, while the file is being referenced, I don't see any changes happening to it. So we've finished that one. Let's move on to the next file. A lot more files to go. This is one of the hard parts about enforcing. Enforcing what we want is when someone messes up the code base, I've got to go back in and clean it. Luckily, these changes aren't up in production, so I can take as long as I want, and I can be calm and know that this is not affecting production. Okay. So it looks like in our routes, the only difference is we changed our route from music view. I want to remove that, so we'll just roll back to this inside of our routes. src. Where's routes.js? Music view. We're going to roll that back. Git status, git add src routes, git commit -m. I roll back routes to remove music changes, not contact page. Git push origin suites new dev. Now we should go from 29 files being changed down to 28 files being changed. We are now down to 28 files. Next up is index.js inside of our account page. Again, account page is not a part of contact, so we're going to roll back this change. View account index.js. I think we can now, let's do a couple pages now. Account index.js, and this is on line 42. Okay, I have messed up the tabs, so there we go. Should fix that page. What's the next one we want? Pop-up musician inside of auth. All that we've done there is add a space, and I don't even know that we want that space. Let's check out what this changes inside of auth. src views auth pop-up musician, and then it's on line 67. Line 67. Okay, we do actually want that change. It fixes it because before it was back there, which doesn't really make sense, so we've just cleaned it up. We're going to leave this and we'll check it to say that we viewed it. Now in our contact index, this is the bulk of our changes. We'll review this in a bit, but for now I'm just going to skip past it. Landing page. I don't think we want to roll out any of our landing pages for now. However, I might. Let's see how much of a change this is. Because we do want the success story section, but let's see how much of a change it is. We're importing the success story section. Header section, features. Looks like between features we've added the success story. Then we have a how it works, learn more, a commented out testimonial, pricing section, contact section, footer section. This actually looks like something that we also want. We're importing our success stories and then we're using it in here right where it should be. So I will check this that we viewed it. Here's our success stories section. I'm going to assume that this one works right. It's a brand new section. Looking at it on our local page. Let's see if it'll load even though we're not running it. We've crashed our server. I'm going to say that we want this. I think this is an okay risk to update the landing page. We'll check it in our testing environment. Landing page we now have in our CSS a success stories section, title section, title section, title section. Okay, I don't know that we like these changes to title section. Let's compare how the title section looks in our production page with how it looks inside of our local page. Git status, npm, git add, src views account, index.js, git commit -m. I roll back account view changes, not contact page. Okay, we'll push those up and then we'll run with npm run start. So what we want to do is we want to compare the landing page to take note of the changes that happen inside of the title section. Let's see where the title section is. I don't see it. Let's look up where this is being used inside of our code base. Where is this class? Landing.css, landing.css, contact. Okay, it looks like it's being used in every single section for the title of the page, for the title of that section. How are we doing over here on the compilation? Failed to compile, cannot find music view. Okay. I deleted that. Did we rename music view? Okay, we did rename music view and we deleted some stuff. Okay. SRC. So we'll add that change back in. Looks like there was a big refactor and I don't want to change that, so we'll go back to our routes. We'll save this and see if it works now for us. Now it's working for us. Right now I want to compare the changes right here with what we look like just on Alexa4Musicians.com. Let's get why musicians love us up at the top. Looks identical. What's the change that we made? We aligned text center, we made the margin bottom bigger, and then we added padding. For our H2s, we changed the font size, and for our paragraph, we changed the font size and changed the color. I'm not noticing these changes. Let's having trouble scrolling. Let's check out the how it works section. So far I'm not seeing any difference, so I feel like those changes were redundant. I'm not noticing the difference, so I'm going to go ahead and remove those changes because I don't see them and I don't know what they are, so we'll leave the success stories, but let's remove the title section changes on landing.css and see what happens. Landing.css, we're going to remove these title section changes. Now let's see how it looks. Did we break anything? You want to continuously check in. Okay, so musician success stories is now not looking so hot. So it looks like rather than making changes just to this title, they made changes to all of the sections, which I really don't like. So instead of making these changes to everything, how about we just make it to the stuff that's going on inside of the success stories section. So we'll add in a class called landing page, or a success story title, and then we'll change this, just the entire title section. success story title section. And now for the H2, alright, now that I've specified these changes to just be for success story, let's see how the changes look. So hopefully now it didn't fix it. Let's change this all the way back. Let's save it and let's see if this fixes it. Okay, so when we change it back, it does fix it. So now my question is, why doesn't can we have multiple class names? This is a brand new file that was created. I'm not sure we need a brand new file. I think we could probably keep all the CSS inside of one file instead of creating a new one. We've already got this landing module.css, so why did we have to go and create a new one? Are we not? Looks like the other sections are using landing module.css. What happens if we import landing module.css instead of this one? Let's try to just import landing module. And then what's CX doing? Okay. Let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens. We're just playing around with stuff. I don't like how it looks right now. Okay, I feel like I'm spending too much time on success stories, so we'll isolate those changes later. For now, I'm just going to remove them, and we're going to go back to the original philosophy. If it doesn't pertain to the contact section, delete it. So, inside of our routes, we do have this change, and we do want that change. Account, we don't want the change. Let's refresh this. Ignore the contact page. Landing page. Okay, we're going to remove all these changes for success story from our landing page. So let's go back to our code. Let's go back to the index for our landing page. We're going to remove the success story section, and then we're going to remove success story section. Let's see how it looks now when we go back and check out how it's looking. Everything should look fine, and our success story section should be gone. Our success story section is now gone. Okay, let's crash this. Git status, git add src routes.js git commit -m I refactor music route necessary. Git status. Git add src views landing. And we'll add both of those. Git commit -m. I remove success stories section because it's not contact page. Git push origin suites new dev. Alright, how are we looking now? Okay. Routes, this change we're just going to deal with and we're going to accept it. Contact we'll look over in a bit. Landing page, it looks like we have added in a space to everything, so I'm going to remove that space. We've added it from line 28 to 37. I do like the change. I actually do like this. No. Although I do like the change, I don't think it's an important enough styling change to commit, so I'm going to remove it. Git status, git add src views landing, git commit -m. I roll back tab change, not related to contact page. Push origin suites new dev. And we'll want to totally delete this success story section page. We should go down to 27 files. We did. Okay, so next up we want to delete success story section. Success story section, we're just going to delete this. Delete. Boom. Git status. Git add src views landing sections. Success story, git commit -m. I remove success story section, not related to contact page. New dev. We should go down to 26 files change now. We've already done 1, 2, and 3. We've opened up a new branch. We've made sure that our contact page works. We've opened up the pull request and we're in step 4 of 5. We're removing all the unintentional changes, and this is so far the longest step. We've gone down to 26 files. We want to just totally delete this landing.css file because it's not used. So landing.css, Control-Shift-F, landing.css, is it used anywhere? It's not used anywhere. So we don't have to worry about removing anything. We'll just delete the file. Git status, git add src views landing.css, git commit -m. I remove unused landing.css file. Push origin suites new dev. Alright, now that that's pushed, let's try to speed up these changes a little bit. We've only reviewed 9 files of 26, so there's still quite a lot more to go. Well, now we're down to 25 files, which is great. These are all just refactors. We removed everything in the music view, and then, you know, actually, I have no idea what changes were made here because the refactor shows this as an entirely new file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to revert this change back, and I'm going to put it all inside of a music view folder. So inside of music, we should have a music view folder. Music view, right? And then inside of that music view folder should be all of these files. We'll move them. Okay, and now that we've moved them, we'll go back to our route, and we will again roll this back to music view. Alright, let's see if this renders properly. npm run start, because we did change our route sections, so this is a kind of big change. If it works though, we're going to be removing 5 files from the total committed list, which is honestly a pretty big change. Our mosquito spiral ran out. Light up another. Keep it burning. Mosquitoes, stay away, stay away, stay away. Mosquitoes. Learned today the word for mosquitoes in Thai is Yung. Yung. Yung, it's a middle tone, it's flat, neutral tone. Yung. So to say I don't like mosquitoes in Thai is Pom. My chop Yung krap. I don't like mosquitoes. Okay. Music view, we've got an invalid ref inside of music view index.js. So we'll go back to music view index.js, global styles, we'll add another .. save that. Did we fix it? Cannot resolve. Oh, inside of song uploader now. Song uploader, same change. Inside of mymusic.js, global styles, and now index.js, the bootstrap file, index.js, our bootstrap file, and then I already know we're gonna have to do the same thing for mymusic and song uploader. Did that fix it? Song uploader can't resolve profile pic. Song uploader cannot resolve profile pic. And then we'll probably need to do the same thing here. mymusic.js, we can't get close icon. Okay, so mymusic.js, we don't get close icon. I'm sure we also can't get share icon. Song uploader, we can't get audio player component. Song uploader, we can't get the audio player component. I think probably most of these will need mymusic, audio player, mymusic, audio player. Helper functions, we can't get DB, so inside of our helper functions, we need to update our database route. Index, we can't get musician context. Index, we can't get musician context. Okay, it looks good now. Let's refresh. Okay, it's looking good now. We'll crash this, get status, lots of changes, git add src routes, git commit -m, I roll back music, refactor, not related to contact. And I actually want to change git add src views music. I want to add all these to the same commit, git commit -- amend -- no -edit. git push origin suites new dev. Oh, and I also wanted to add, I'm moving too fast. Oh, did we do it all? We did it all. Okay. Let's check our pull request. We should now lose another 5 files. We should go down to 20 files. Maybe even 19 files. 21 files. Did we still modify our routes? Routes. Looks like route has been removed, which is great. Okay, so now we can actually see what was changed inside of our music view, and we can roll back those changes to make sure that we're only modifying our contact page. Starting back up at the top, contact page, yep, I know we need to review that, skipping past it. Okay, so lots of changes happened inside of mymusic.js. So let's see if we can just view this file. Can I just, how do I view the original file? Can I just view the file? Okay, let's try to copy these changes. So lines 1 to 11 should be this. Lines 1 to 11 inside of mymusic.js. Mymusic.js, React, use context. Or can I roll back a file to a branch? Roll back file to branch. Reset a single file as master. If you want to revert the file in this to its state in master. Okay, let's try this command and see what happens. Git checkout origin /test, and then the file name is going to be src views music. Yeah, can I just change the whole folder? That was faster. Let's see if that does what I expected it to do. Go back to the Brave browser, check out the pull request, refresh it. Hopefully any change that happened inside of the music directory is now eliminated and we go down a couple more files. We've now gone down to 17 files. I don't see any changes to the music directory. Looking good. That was a good change. That definitely sped up our process by just using the built-in git command. We're going to ignore the contact page. Okay, payments, I don't care about right now. So let's do the same change we just did into our entire payments directory. We updated one path, git status, git status, git add src what's going on? Git status, git add src / oh, we've already added it. Git commit -m I roll back changes to payments view not related to contact. I really like the ability to just roll it back to an existing branch. It's going to help me out a lot with making sure that we're not adding in random changes, and also I don't have to be as focused on changing them one at a time. SRZ view payments index.js. Okay, so we did something wrong. Looks like we just removed everything and then added in this is payments page. So that's not what we want. What did we do wrong? Git fetch. Let's try git fetch and then we'll run that command again. Now let's try. Okay, we've updated it. Git status. We've changed both of those. Let's commit, do the same message, and then we'll push them again. Let's see what happened. Hopefully we've gone down by 2 files and our payments page has been updated. Control F payments. I no longer see changes to payments page. That's great. That was what we needed to do. We don't care about our voice overview, so let's do the same thing and roll back changes to voice overview. Git commit. Let's just change our commit message. Why have to think about it as much? We can just make this simpler. We are currently at 15 files. How many files are we at once we make this change? Originally, when we started this video, we were up at 30 files and we've already gone down to 11. So we've reduced the delta of our commit by 1/3, which is awesome. Voiceover. Looks like we added in an entire file, which I'm not sure is referenced. So let's see if we can delete it. I don't see this file being used anywhere, so let's delete it. We're going to go git commit --amend --no-edit to include this in the previous commit. And then we'll push it with the -F to force it, because Git is not going to like that we're including something in a commit that's already been pushed to GitHub. We should go down another file, down to 10 files. We're down to 10 files. Alright, next up, plans. Plans is not part of contact page, so we're also going to roll back the plans changes. We're going to use the same commit message. Change this to plans. Now we should go back to 9 files changed. Well, how many files did that impact? 1. Yeah, so we should go down now to 9 files being updated. 9 files, ignore contact page, and that's it. Okay, we are now in a minimum state. At this point, we are only updating package lock, package, global styles. Our global styles are only modifying stuff that impacts contact. We're adding in some PNGs, 1, 2, 3, 4, so almost half of our files being changed to PNGs. A small style change to our pop-up musician. And then we've added in our contact page. This is how a pull request should look. The changes should be minimum. The commit messages should be able to tell a story of what changes were made. You can see I made way more commits than what were made in the original dev that pushed it up. And all of my commits talk kind of in depth about what's going on rather than just saying success story section added or fixed compile bug. Voice UI changes, like we're making this as in-depth as possible. Let's review these from the top. We're going to uncheck all of the changes and we're going to review these one at a time. So, starting with what we were doing, we created a new dev branch. We made sure that the contact page works. We pushed and opened a pull request with staging. We've removed all unintentional changes. So now we want to deploy it to production. Package lock looks good. Package.json looks good. Global modules, 2 changes. I think some of the changes are redundant, but it's good enough. These PNGs I'm fine with being added. Pop-up musician is a very small styling change. I'm okay with that. And then our contact page was changed. Looks like we're importing React. We're importing our send email function. We set a bunch of state for first name, last name, phone number, email, message, loading, error, success, display alert. We then get all of that from values. I'm not sure why we're taking these out of our state variables. Okay, it looks like we're trying to store all these inside of one state variable instead of having a state variable for each of them, which doesn't seem to be saving us lines of code, but might save us memory. I'm okay with this. Handle change, set values, we update the name value. Okay, so this makes it so we can change our values pretty quickly. On submit, we prevent default, we set values. We only want to change error, false, and loading to true. Name is first name plus last name. Do we have 2 sections, one for first name, one for last name? Oh, we do have a first and last name. Name, subject, BCC. We send the email, send email function, which is being imported. We put in name, email, BCC, subject, phone number, and message. Then we get a response, get the data. If parse.email, then we clear everything out, and then we set a success message. If parsed message, then we set error equal to parsed message. Display the spinner. We only if we display the spinner, looks like we just return a div with our loader, and then we display it only if the loading is true. Display error. We've got our alert style, make it a danger, so make it red. We display it if there's an error and there's a display alert. We display it in block, otherwise we do none. We've got error message and then a button times, which is going to close it, I believe. Yeah, we close it. Display alert, we toggle. And then display success. We only display it if we have success and display alert. And then we set its success message, and then there's a close button. Cool. Then this is the same, not really a change. Again, same, we just added in a space, just added in some spaces. We updated the text, just added a space, just added a space. Then we made this a state variable instead of just having it be a free form. Just added a space. We make this a state variable with a change. Just added a space. State variable. Then we just added spaces, state variable, just added space, state variable, just added a space, and then we added a handle submit. This all looks good to me. I'm happy with how this looks. Has this been deployed such that I can see it? It looks like we did deploy it, so let's see if I can view it. See if I can check out what this deployed site looks like so that I can do one final test before I deploy it into staging. Okay, we just deployed this page. Does our landing page still look good? I don't think we impacted our landing page. The majority of our users interact with us on a mobile screen, so we'll actually review this on mobile. I'm not sure I like that some of these are floating to the right and others are floating to the left, but I'm okay with it for now. Let's sign in. Let's go to the contact page. Okay, please contact us. Now let's test it out. Does this work? We'll submit it. Looks good to me. We will contact you shortly. Please check your email. Okay, let's make this full screen. Let's check out our email. Did we get a new email? We just got a new email. And it looks like we got it. Alright. Only other question I have is, are we CCing voice first? I want to get alerted in voice first email anytime we send an email to a musician, and I don't think we've been getting it. It's outside of the scope of this talk, but I don't see us getting the email, so that's something we might fix in our next one. For now, let's go ahead and deploy this into test, and we'll see if everything looks okay on our testing environment. I noticed I wasn't able to scroll down to the submit button on the contact page here. Let's see if I can recreate that error. Let's refresh. Right now I can't scroll down to the submit button, which is potentially why he had the viewer height at 75 instead of 100. Is that true on the main Alexa4Musicians page? It's also true on the production page. So it's not like we're breaking anything that isn't already broken. Is this okay, or do we want to make the fix? I've already been streaming for over an hour, so I think I'm about done with this. It's kind of taken us a long time. I'm fine with deploying this into test. Let's merge it into test, and then we'll merge this to production after staging gets deployed and we run a quick test. Let's go ahead and code. Test had a push. Let's check it with prod. Hopefully we only have 11 files changed or less, 9 files changed. Here's all of our commits. We can see the majority of the commits happened just now when I did them. Let's review these while we're waiting. We got our package lock, package, global modules, close icon, image, 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 slight styling, and then our contact page changes. look good. Okay. Let's review our checks. We should have one deploy that's going to our test environment, and then we should have another that is on pull request. There it is. So we've got one that's running on PR and one that's running to our test environment. I'm really only curious of the one that's running to our test environment. If you're unaware of what this is called a continuous integration pipeline. This deploys our code automatically so that we don't have to manually do it. It runs it through the same set of processes every single time a pull request happens to deploy it to our dev environment, our testing environment, and our production environment. So right now it just finished building the React website, and now it's deploying it to our test channel. So once it gets deployed, we'll see a new preview channel inside of, it'll actually be this existing test channel, and it'll just be updated to today's date, which is July 9th, whenever this is done. So the reason I don't just deploy this directly into production is I want to make sure, one, our deploy pipeline works with the code that I did, because I might have introduced some bugs that break our continuous integration pipeline. And two, I want to make sure that the website looks good for the changes that we made. Alright, it looks like we just had a successful pipeline run. Let's see if my hypothesis is correct. The test date should update to July 9th. We've got test, it was deployed 0 minutes ago. Let's see how the contact page looks and if it works properly. The landing page should still look fine. Yeah, everything looks good here on the landing page. Let's go check out app/contact. Okay. And now we'll go here. Hello world from test environment. Submit it. Okay, let's check our email. We should have just gotten another email. We did. 0 minutes ago. Same email. Alright, looking good. So it's all looking good on test. Let's now deploy it to production. We have now deployed it to production. Our continuous integration CI/CD pipeline is now running on main branch, which is deploying the website to production. So right now, we can clean up some of these open tabs. Right now on our contact page, we have lorem ipsum text, and when we fill out the form, nothing happens. When we click submit, it said we don't get a success message and we don't see anything happening, so I don't even think I get an email over here. going through the steps that we went through. The original problem, we hired a freelance coder to update the Alexa4Musicians codebase. They were merging things directly into dev, and it kind of messed up our dev environment. That was my fault. I gave too much access to a developer and didn't have enough oversight into them. Solution, we needed to get dev in working order and deploy just one page up to production so that I have a greater awareness of the codebase. At the end of the day, our core philosophy is to shift towards the musicians owning more of the platform. In Web3, built on top of blockchain, we shouldn't have a centralized mediator like me. However, until we get to that place, I'm trying to make sure that the codebase is good, and sometimes freelance coders just don't have the same level of quality that I care for. So the goal was to reset the page to a working state and then to get that deployed. So we now have a new dev branch called new dev. We have deployed the change. It's deploying right now to production, and we've updated the contact page so that it works. If you are interested in helping us make a lot of these updates to Alexa4Musicians to empower musicians to have better conversations with their fans, reach out to us on any social media channel at VoiceFirstAI. We are hiring, and we're looking to bring in engineers that are excited and passionate about high quality code and the Web3 development model. Doesn't matter if you're just a front-end engineer, if you're a back-end engineer, if you're full stack. We are hiring. We're constantly looking for new engineers to come on our team. We prefer engineers that have experience. However, we're also willing to hire people that are wanting to get paid to learn. We've deployed to production. Let's refresh. Lorem ipsum should disappear. All right, lorem ipsum's gone. Please contact us if you have any questions related to Alexa4Musicians, or if you need technical support. Our representatives will contact you as soon as possible. Yay! We fixed the dev branch and deployed to production. Emojis. Submit. Did we get the email? Looks like we just got the email, and the email looks good. Okay, that is it for today. It was kind of a long video. Hit some problems on step number 4 of removing the unintentional changes, but we're good now. If you have any questions of what we covered today, let me know in the comments, or again, send us a message on any social media site at VoiceFirstAI. We are here to help you find your voice, whether you're a coder, a musician, or you're just interested in hearing a techie ramble. We're here for you. Without further ado, happy Friday, everyone. This is Sweets.